Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. Hope everyone's doing well. Today I'm going to read on Ben Carson. He's been kind of like on the down low, nothing much going on, but there was a lot of misappropriation of funds that he had, or fundage, whatever we want to call it, that he had while he was in the under the Trump administration as housing and urban development chair or head, I guess. I don't know, whatever. So I'm going to check in on his karma and his future. So bear with me. I'm going to drop the camera down and get started. Okay, deck's all shuffled. Let's see what comes through. Okay, so the forces in motion currently going on in his life. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands reversed, and this is, oh goodness, let me check. Where's my phone? I'm not sure what day it is that I'm reading this. I think it's Wednesday, April 28th. Okay, so currently, there's something going on with, well, I guess it would just be his lack of success here. Let me grab my chopstick. Because straight up, of course, this card is about recognition for your efforts and being acknowledged at the very least. It can be fame, but reversed, it's not happening so much. It could even be giving up. It could be disgrace. It can be failure, actual failure. Okay, so let's see what his biggest challenge is at this time. Oh, that's interesting. So I don't know if there's some legal issue or if this might be his wife, but with the Queen of Swords, his challenge is in being truthful and intelligent and, organized and very independent. The Queen of Swords is a very independent woman. So I don't know who's challenging him. I do remember, oh my goodness, let me see if I can remember the details. Remember when Katie Porter asked him what an REO was, and he misunderstood it as what? An Oreo? What are you saying? An Oreo? And she was talking about something like real estate owned, the REO, real estate owned, the acronym for real estate owned. But even though he's the head or the secretary, whatever, of housing and urban development, he didn't know. So this could be Katie Porter, that everyone has probably seen that little clip. Or maybe even watched the whole, what would be the word, inquiry, I suppose, into him. I'll never forget it. So anyway, I'll just let that go for now. Let's ask, and please know, you guys, I have prayed and meditated. My intention is to never slander anybody, but to get the truth as to what karma did he bring in this lifetime to heal. And trying to have the greatest compassion for every soul. Let's see what he brought in to heal. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Well, with the Knight of Wands, we're in that realm of courage, moving with courage, being confident and adventurous at the very least. And then with the Knight of Cups, that has more to do with like relationships. So it feels like he's a soul who has often used relationships to find his courage as to like which way to go. Let's keep going with that. Let's keep going with that, because this is not enough information. Okay, so the Eight of Wands reversed, hanging over the Two of Wands reversed. Okay. I think he may have had a very difficult past life experience that has caused him to, again, move forward under the engagement of relationship with the Knight of Cups, because of course the Knight of Cups is all about attraction, going into relationship, like using the vehicle of relationship. It can be a very gentlemanly card, I mean, I don't see like any outright abuse. These cards are not reversed, but it does feel to me like a little codependency, which, I mean, what soul doesn't come in with some of that? But then, in addition, the Eight of Swords can bring in a lack of action, because this is very active, and then, because these cards all touch each other, I'm thinking that he did need relationship to get him going. Like, people could influence him. Easily influenced is what I'm getting with both of these cards. And other people would, if they could encourage him in a certain direction, then maybe he could make some progress. But I think he's missed opportunities and maybe is worried about missing opportunities, so he has this impulsive place inside of him that'll just jump on something. And then maybe it's like 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or 1 step forward and 2 steps back. It can be both. But something to do with timing gone wrong. And then that's further reiterated. I mean, we've got a lot of fire here, but this is fire going in the wrong direction. With this Two of Wands reversed, I think he really just had trouble making a lot of good progress. It's amazing to me that he made it, that he was a brain surgeon, and that he separated twins ever. I don't think they're still alive, and I don't know. We'd have to check into that. But as far as healing on a soul level, the karma that he brought in, no, he hasn't made any progress really. He's still working that. And I mean, he was Donald Trump's. Well, he has some wacky beliefs. He does believe in, the Bible, where the Bible says that creation happened in 6 days, and then the 7th day, God, rested. There, no evidence of evolution in the Big Bang Theory, and that maybe that 6 days in the Bible could have been, 600,000 years or whatever, you know what I mean? Or 6 million years. I mean, just limited thinking. So anyway, let's see what's the karma presently hanging over him. Because he was Trump's token, black man. And we know that Trump is racist, so what was that about? So we have the Six of Pentacles reversed and the Ace of Cups reversed. So currently what's hanging over him, you know what, let me move these over a little. I tend to I'm noticing that viewing videos later on, sometimes they're way over this one side, and I don't know what's going on with my camera, but that's tends to be what happens. Maybe I can do this a little bit. Okay, so anyway, what's hanging over him is this giving to get karma. Again, here's I just feel strongly the codependency. I'll do what you want, just tell me what it is. And then behind the scenes, he, has this impetus to do something different, which could be like why he, you know, I have to remember that $31,000 in office furniture he tried to buy, and then the gal that worked under him, I don't know if she resigned. I think she might have resigned because the rule was you can't spend more than $5,000, and he was making her buy it. So I think she resigned. I have to look back at that. I can't. I'm vaguely remembering something like that. But the thing that stood out to me was he blamed his wife. He blamed his wife. He said that, oh, well, my wife had picked that out. Yeah, I put my wife in charge of office furniture. What? I can't say what I think about that on air. But it's cruel, to say the least, to throw his wife under the bus like that. So, anyway, with the Six of Pentacles reversed, this is what's hanging over him now. Can be debt. It can be his, like he'll do anything for, you know, for money, maybe even some speaking engagements, but his heart's not in it. His emotions are squashed down. You know, he's feeling empty. This is feeling empty, and this is currently. This is even a card of like canceled events and breakups and pain, emotional pain. Yeah. So, is there anything else about this Six of Pentacles? It just feels like he's in debt. It can be a card of fraud and scams. You know, abusing your financial power. So, yeah. And I feel like he may have had a childhood that was challenging. I think I read something about that a long, long time ago when I was like, why is Trump? Because I had this friend who, you know, way back in like 2015, who was saying, you know, he was going to vote for Trump. And I'm like, whoa, really? There's so many other options here. And then he said, well, I kind of like Ben Carson. And I'm like, well, okay, I don't know anything about him. So I, you know, did some research then. And I think I remember him having a pretty rough childhood growing up. And I thought, well, wow, he's at this, you know, and he was a brain surgeon and he may be misunderstood. But I don't know, it just feels kind of wacky to me. Okay, so I'm going to look at his future with these four cards here. What's his future? What does his future look like? I'll say Queen of Cups reversed, hanging over, Judgment reversed, Ten of Wands, and Five of Wands. Okay, so with the Queen of Cups reversed, this is about manipulation. So I would imagine that he has karma with his wife and with other women in his life. I don't know about his children, if he has a daughter. He's older than he looks. He's much older than he looks, so I would think he has a daughter, at least one. But anyway, on an experiential level, as far as the energies coming his way, based on his free will and, you know, the choices he's made in his life, this has to do with experiencing neediness and insecurity. And maybe even some unfaithfulness. It's a card of, you know, being very emotionally immature. And having that hanging over Judgment reversed, this is regrets. This is feeling really down. This is not being able to, you know, honor your call and experience rebirth. Because, you know, there's probably regrets from what he's done in the past. It's like, you know, ghosts from the past coming out of the closet. Family problems, too. Could be a card of family problems. Okay. The Ten of Wands is big burdens, you know, to the point you can barely see your feet as you're walking forward and you can't look up and see the forest for the trees type of energy. Followed by, and that's hanging over. So the burdens that are hanging over him are of struggle, competition, thinking he needs to be at the top. With the Wands energy here and here, here and here, and here, I feel like he's got a lot of anger issues that are not resolved yet. And I feel like he's going to work it out with the women in his life, if he can, you know what I mean? If he would, like, heed their advice, if they can give him any good advice, to just feel all his feelings and get through it and maybe turn things around. But, you know, his belief system is pretty skewed, so... okay, so that's the karmic look. Let me put these aside and use this goofy new deck that I got, but I actually love it, and I don't know why. I guess because it's so simple. Super awesome fortune cards. If you like it, it was basically like 10 or 11 bucks on Amazon, and I don't know why they put it in such a big box with, you know, a little tiny book inside, and how can they do that and sell it for only 10 bucks, you know what I mean? And it comes from Seattle, too. Yeah. Oh, it is made in China. Well, there you go. That explains it. Okay. So, what is Ben Carson's future? Let's look at his future. If I can make some room here. Okay. Ben Carson's future. Okay. If I can. There we go. So I'll talk you through how I read this type of a spread, which you can do with any deck. Of course, you could do it with tarot. You know, I mean, that's the deal. Is we can make up our own rules. But I got these rules from learning how to read Lenormand. And Kipper applies as well. So, of course, I just do it with this little deck that's seems to be a combo, although the numbers don't, they're not the same as Lenormand or the Kipper, I don't think. No, not at all. Well, maybe this one for Kipper, but yeah. Anyway, I don't want to confuse you and talk about other things right now. So, the fox, so this column is the theme. The card's knight over, so knighting is 1 down and 2 over, or it could be, 2 over, 1 up, like that. So this card knights to this card and this card, so these 3 cards form like a triad of information. And then, of course, we have the mirroring of the 2 cards at the end, and these 2 mirror each other. So you should be able to get about the same message looking at it from all different angles. And sometimes I see this as being like the answer card, and then other times I have to draw more cards because it doesn't make sense. But I think for now, what I'm seeing here is something's tricky, something's wrong. This is the theme. And he may be ill. There could be something wrong with his health. Because the fox card here being something, something could have been misdiagnosed in the past. it's also about deception. Deception could be making him ill from, a lot of deception in the past. But anyway, because the Fox Knight's over here to the, basically it says vigor, but it's basically the health card. He could be having some side effects from, he did get COVID from one of Trump's, I used to call them super spreader events, but I can't remember exactly when it was. It was some type of campaign event that he went to, and he did get COVID. And then Trump helped him. I remember what came out in the news. He helped him get that, what was that drug that started with an R? Oh my goodness. The drug that almost no one could get, but Trump got it and he got it for him. Trump got it for Ben Carson. Regeneron. Because, look at the images here. We have the brain, the lungs, and the heart. And the blender card being in the middle of these two, and the snake hanging over it, my goodness. So problems, misdiagnosis, tricky situations with his health. And he can throw a lot of money at it, but it's still a health issue because this illness card here, it's going to cost a lot of money to take care of his health, whatever it is. And then back to this, the blender is all about chaos and mix-up and everything's just, look at the two little tornadoes here. And it's just going, whatever's in the blender is going, it's obliterated. So I think his health is obliterated because these are both health cards here, right? Wow. And the snake is complications. It's all about complications. And it can be betrayal. If it's a person, both of these cards can be betrayal as people. But I think it has to do with his health because of, these other cards surrounding. So, and then he has so much of his happiness tied to money. He identifies who he is with money. I had this card for Eric Trump yesterday when I did his karmic reading, and I didn't notice how much he kind of, could look like this. But anyway, I digress. So he needs to, with this infinity card, he needs to think bigger. He has a very limited perception, a limited scope on what life is really about. And he's thinking that his happiness is tied to his money. But then he's got these health issues that he can't get out from under. I don't know why the cat lady's there. The cat lady's usually about being lonely. It could be that his wife isn't happy and feels lonely, but it could be that it has nothing to do with a lady and he feels lonely, because remember with the tarot we had the emptiness, the message of emptiness that kept coming up. Of course with the judgment reversed. So anyway, again, secrets, money secrets, weird belief systems that you could have secrets that are tied to the money he gets. That's very complicated. That's interesting. Anyway, he has secrets he's been holding for a long time is what I just heard. And maybe that's what's about to be released out into the news at some point. Yeah, so a health issue that costs him a lot of money. And maybe there's not enough money in the world you can throw at it. his happiness, you know, these aren't good cards. The happiness card and the abundance card and the health card, like all of these cards that could be positive, are not in this reading because these negative cards are surrounding. You know, this is a neutral card. This is not happy. And this is, although some of us might not mind like just living with our cats, but for him, this is him. I think no matter what he has around him, he still feels lonely because he hasn't healed inside. And he has these secrets that he's, I think he has these false beliefs about because of his religion. And he has secrets about money, you know, that he's been hiding. There could be something to do with the military as well. But anyway, it's really complicated. He's very complicated. And because this entire spread is about his future, I would say that his, you know, in summary, in his future, he's going to experience betrayal. And that came through with the tarot as well. And it's, again, something that's going to cost him a lot of money and affect his health. Because you can't have your happiness just tied to money and expect to really be happy. It's just, that's not the way life works. And of course, if you don't go deep inside and heal that pain, then you don't have the life force that comes through. You know, it doesn't heal all that. When we meet our pain, we dissolve, you know, the frozen past where our real needs weren't met, where we have placed our false needs onto money instead of love. You know, if we don't learn how to love ourselves, then our life force won't start flowing in the right channels to create the health. So I don't see this as being a good ending health-wise for him. So, okay, well, that's all I've got on Ben Carson. So I think it's going to be a health issue that gets him in the end. I don't see that he's going to be losing his money. I see that it's a health issue. Although sometimes this illness card can be loss. Yeah. But of course, in his situation, it would be all the money he has to spend on his health. Even though he's probably got to get insurance, it's still not going to be enough. So, okay, well, that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Take good care. Bye.